Hi friends, so welcome back to our channel. Today again I came up with a new informative video, how to buy a car in Germany. I have seen some of the videos in YouTube which is really good, explained very well, but none of the video I did not see any video which is mentioning like how to plan a car, well, how to plan while buying a car, which means like which type of car we need to use it, how can we decide, this kind of thing. And a lot of our subscribers also was requested this information, and it will be good that I can share some of my experience and it will be useful for others. So today this is our topic. So here I am going to explain like including from the stage like from planning to execution stage. So how can we buy a car from the very base stage also. So in this video, most of the things that I'm telling, most of the people will be knowing that information, but there are some people which they don't know some of the things. So I thought of like, okay, explain a little bit in a detail so that it will be having a clear idea for everyone, so that it will be really useful for others. So here, without wasting more time, we can start the video. First we will start with the planning. So here what we need to think first is like which type of car we need to buy. For example, here are different type of cars available in Germany. I can tell with some examples. One is like we can say a small car or compatible cars, which is something like a Smart or Mini Cooper kind of thing. Second one is like a hatchback or SUV. Then there are something called station wagon or touring cars. Then there are something called a coupe or convertible cars. Then there are some SUVs. So these are like a 5 major category which I have seen here in the cars. Then still there are some more cars like okay, big cars and all, like with the 7-9 seater cars and all. But basically we can tell this 5 category, which is easy to explain or which is good, or most people will be using that one only. So here there are some advantages and disadvantages of this type of cars. So I will little bit explain you what is the advantage and disadvantage of these cars. First we will think about the small cars, or we can say compact cars. Here the advantage of this car is like, suppose you are living in a city and you don't have a dedicated parking space available. In this case, every day you need to run for a parking slot, because most people will be using the free parking areas and all. So here if you have a small car with a very good advantage, like you can find a parking space very easily, and even if you have a Smart or something, then you can even park in a horizontal way, no need to park in a parallel way also, because the size of the car is that much only. So this is also a very good thing. If you have in this case it is a very good thing. But the problem here it is, if you buy a small car, this is mostly like only if you are an individual or if you are a couple without a kid or something, because then you don't need much spaces. But if you are a family, and if you have family or if you have kid or something, then you have a problem like you need much more spaces. Then you need to think about the another category, which is something like a hatchback or sedan classes. So here again it's a problem like this also again suitable for a couples. Basically, even okay if you have one kid or something also it is okay, but mainly it is for a couples. Here this is somewhat bigger than the compact cars, but it is not so big like that. So here also it is not a big deal to find a parking spaces and all, and it is good like okay, this is not that costly also compared to the other cars. So this is also a very good option for a family people, or like a small family people we can say. And the third category is the station wagon or the touring cars. Here this car is some more bigger than the sedan class, and which has much more boot space. So basically this car is good if you are traveling more often, so that you can carry more luggages in your boot. So that's why that name itself is called touring. So this is actually good, that if you travel more, so that you have big spaces, but the length of the car is much more bigger. So you need to consider this also while thinking about the parking. Now the fourth one is the convertible cars. So here I can say that okay, the convertible cars are really good once you are in summertime, because you can open the top side and you can roam around. That is really good thing. But the problem here it is, while running with open way, the dust will be like getting inside very fast, so you need to go for a professional cleaning more often. This is one good thing which also compared to the normal cleaning, which is expensive. You need to consider always this also while doing it. And if you don't have a hard case like it is with a cloth or something, then there is again problem like in winter. So you need to use the heater more, or you need to make it a high heating level or something, that because it will be like the transformation will be very fast here. So this also you need to think while considering for buying this type of cars. Fifth option is the SUVs. So this is basically for a family or big families, and this is very good for people like tall people. For example, I can tell my experience. I am a bit tall, like I am 6.1 inch height, 6.1 feet height, basically, not inch. So here for me, I was using till my lifetime before, I was using a small cars or sedan or hatchback cars. But even in Germany also starting, I was using this sedan car. But after that, once I moved to SUV, I can really tell that the difference, because the comfortable is really good. I have very much less back pain or shoulder pain or neck pain, I can say, and the visibility also really good in sedan class, in the SUVs, and you have a very big boot space. So if you have a family with kids, if you wanted to carry your kinderwagen and you need to go for a trip, you need to carry other things, you don't need to worry about that. You have enough space in the boot and you have enough space inside the room. So this is really good thing, and which is really good. There are a lot of good advantage things actually, but there is a drawback for that. The fuel economy is not so good, and if you like to drive very fast, because in German autobahns you can go as much as fast you can, then if you are going for like again very fast, like 230 or 250 something like that, you need to think that way. Then these SUVs are not good, because SUVs are good until 180 or around 200, it's okay. After 200 it is not so comfort like the normal SUVs or something, normal hatchback or sedan class, something like that. So this you need to think. But as you can say, if you have other enough advantages, so if you can think what you need it, and you can decide according to that. You can consider all these points in mind and you can decide according to that. Second main point we need to think here, it is again inside the car there are different types, like according to the for example, if there is something like a front wheel drive or a back wheel drive or a four wheel drive or a all wheel drives. So we can say front wheel drive and back wheel drive is the same class, either it's like from where it is a drive method, it is there, that's all. But the all wheel and four wheel we can consider as another group. So here the advantage of front wheel drive or back wheel drive cars is your fuel economy will be good here, because you will get much more mileages here, and yeah, that is one good thing. But in all wheel drive the fuel economy is not as good as the single drive system. This is one drawback in SUV, but in the all-wheel drive. But in all-wheel drive you have very good advantage. Of course, you are going for a hill area or something, this is good at that time if you have four-wheel drive. And in winter time you have very much at winter time, or it's like a raining time and all, you have very good advantage, like you can avoid a lot of fishtailing problems, because your all four-wheel drives are connected. Even if you have small fishtailing or something, it will adjust automatically, because the all drive system is designed in that way. But in front-wheel drive you will often face this in the winter time or summer time. And in the after stopping and taking the car also, if you have a more snow or something, your front single drive system will be like spinning much more. But in the all-wheel drive you have much more traction control, and this is really good at that time. So this also you need to keep in mind which type of drive system you need it, whether you need a single drive system or you need a all-wheel drive system. This is, you can think about that one. And if you go for a SUVs, mostly SUVs will come with all-wheel drive system, but there are most SUVs also have front wheel or back wheel drive system. So this also you need to consider while buying the car. Now the third point or the main point here again with the fuel, which type of fuel you need it. So there are basically 5 types of cars available here, basically with petrol or benzene, we can say here. Then second one is the petrol, benzene and gasoline. This is the another name, I was thinking about the other name, sorry. Then second option is the diesel cars. Third option is the electric cars. Fourth option is the hybrid cars. Fifth option is the plug-in hybrid cars. I will explain you a little bit advantage and disadvantages of this type of cars. We will consider petrol and diesel. This is easy. So the advantage of petrol cars is that the emission rate will be higher in petrol, or we can say the pollution control. Pollution level will be less in petrol cars compared to the diesel cars. So diesel cars will be having more pollutions actually. And there are some environmental zones there you're maybe not allowed to enter with a diesel car, but in petrol you don't have that issues and all. Even in the Frankfurt or major cities and all, they were announced before, if you have a diesel car and you need a specific standard above Euro 4 or something, then only you are allowed to enter the environmental zone, and the car which don't have a specific emission standard below that one, you are not allowed to use the car in the cities and all. So this is something you need to think, like where you're living according to that. Another advantage of, okay, this is a disadvantage of diesel, but disadvantage of diesel cars are like you have more fuel economy here. So compared to gasoline cars, diesel cars will be having more fuel economy, and the price of the fuel also, diesel price is cheaper than the petrol price. But the difference is not so higher, around 20 cents or something, I think, because I'm also not using the diesel, I'm not exactly remember the rate, but it's not so high, the difference is not so high. But you can think this one. Now, advantage of petrol again is that the tax money. As you know, every year we need to pay tax for the cars, and here while doing that one, diesel cars will be having more tax compared to the petrol cars. For example, if you have a same type of car which is having a petrol and diesel, and the diesel cars will be having much more tax rate, around 150 euros or something extra compared to the diesel cars. So here while planning, I will say you need to consider for a year how much you are going to drive. For example, per day you are going to office and you are spending around maximum 100 km per day, you can use even petrol cars. If you are going for a more than 100 km something, then only you can think about the diesel cars. So considering this in mind, like 100 kilometers you are going it, you can think that okay, you will be spending much more money in fuel, but if you consider for a year, you have again 150 euro difference compared to tax. So maybe you are not using that 150 euro for the fuel and the efficiency rate also compared to that. So this you need to really think how much kilometer you are going to drive, and depends upon that only you need to decide this one. So because petrol cars have a lot of advantage like this, going, you don't need to worry about going environmental zone and all. Of course, you need some efficient standard. So almost like latest cars and all, or some years old car also, you have a Euro 6 standard. So this is really not a problem at all. So this is you need to think while considering the fuel. Now we think about the third option is an electric option. Electric cars are really good according to pollution, because considered as a zero polluted car, this is really good according to pollution emission standard. You don't need to worry about going to a city center or somewhere we have an environmental zone. You don't need to worry anything about that one. But the price of the fuel, considering here electric charge or electric price is less compared to the petrol or diesel car. So this is really good advantage. But the problem here it is, if you go for a long drive, then the range of the car will be like limited, something like 300 or something, 200, 300 kilometers, depends upon which car you are using, or 400 kilometers. So if you are going for a long drive, you need to wait for minimum 40 minutes or something to get it charged, because even if you are using a fast charging, and if you don't have a fast charging option, you need to spend much more time for the charging. This is really drawback, but now future is coming, so more people are thinking, more automotive companies are thinking about going for electric version. So there will be innovations are going on. We may get it as like a very, very fast charging. We can charge it in 10 minutes or something with full charge. Then if you're going for a long drive, then we will be going for a charging station and waiting for 10-20 minutes. It's not a real thing, because you are relaxing in the time also. So this is really one thing you can consider while buying a car, because this. And another advantage is like now Germany, we are getting a subsidy also from government if you are going for electric cars, because it's more good for the environment. So they are giving up to 8,000 euros or something. You are getting a subsidy if you are buying a new cars and electric cars. So this is also one good thing. And recently I was remembering some months back, I have seen an advertisement which is like, of course, a small electric car, but if you are going for only for office or something alone, then you can use that one. And that price is, compared to a mobile contract, it is almost like a 50 or less than 100 euros per month you need to spend for that one. So it is something like that advertisement itself selling like, okay, you can buy a car with your mobile contract price, something like that only. So this is good in that case. And because going for office, maybe you need to spend only 20, 30 or 30, 40 kilometers. In that case, okay, you have enough range, 100 kilometers or something, within 2 days you can charge, or while coming to home you can charge, or you can go to office and you can get it charged. Another advantage of the car, electric cars are, if you go for a city, most of the cities or almost all the cities, in almost all the places, they are installing an electric charging point, and there you have a dedicated parking spaces available. So none of the other people, like normal the gasoline cars or the other cars, are not allowed to park there. Only for the electric car, people can park there and they can use the charging station at that time. So here finding the parking space also will be good for that in the city centers and all. But more people are started using the electric cars, you may end up with the same problem what we are facing now for finding a parking spaces here. But in the parking cities also, the parking slots also, we are getting a charging slots in almost all the parking stations and all. So this is a good thing actually. Now we think about hybrid cars. Hybrid cars are something like you will be having a combustion engine and you will be having an electric motor. So here one thing you need to consider here, it is you don't need to really switch something like a turn it on or turn it off something. Everything will be happening automatically. For example, I'll give you an example. If you have enough charge in your, so in the there will be having a high voltage battery will be available in the car. So in the battery you have enough charge in the battery. Then if you're driving in a specific limit, like if you're not going very fast or something, then your electric motor can give that much torque or that much power basically, then it will be completely running as electric mode. So in the cities and all, you will be completely running in this case electric mode, because in cities only you will be spending more fuel because you need to stop continuously and you need to take the car, then it is spending more fuel for that. In this case really we have a good advantage in the electric cars actually. And the electric cars at that time, even the acceleration also good in the electric cars. That's also one more advantage which I forgot to tell before. And even here also, if you are running electric mode, you will be having much more acceleration because that's the specialty of the electric motor actually. Then you are using the battery and reaching a minimum level, something like 20% or something, then what will happen is the combustion engine will automatically turn it on, and the electric motor what you are working till now, it will be converted as a generator and it will start charging your battery back. So this is happening automatically. You will not be really know something is happening. This will happen automatically, but this is only happening in backend. So here then at that time it is running in a complete automatic completely in the gasoline or petrol, gasoline or diesel, depends upon which type of hybrid car you have it. So it is completely in the combustion engine you will be running, and the battery will be charging. And again, once it is reaching a specified threshold limit, the battery charging, then the combustion engine will turn off and it will be running with the battery. So here the advantage is like some of the times you will be running in battery, so you have a very good fuel economy here. So this is one good thing. For example, suppose a car, I have checked some time back the spec, it was mentioned like for running 100 km you need to spend only 2 liters of petrols. By the case for the other cars like 6-7 liters you need to spend, and even in cities it will be more actually, and even if you have SUV again it will be more actually. So this is really good thing you can consider. And if you are going for a long trip also, you don't need to worry about charging or something because it is automatically charging. Now the fifth option, plug-in hybrid. Plug-in hybrid cars are same like hybrid cars, but you have an extra option for charging also. So here you have a charging slot available, you can use it for charging, or if you are coming home or something you can charge it, so the battery will be charged. So tomorrow morning again you can use it as an electric car, something like that, or if you are going to office and you can get it charged and you can use it as an electric car. So this is really good with the plug-in hybrid cars. This is also one feature, you can charge it, and it will, even if you are not charging a battery reaching a less threshold, then it will automatically start the combustion engine and start charging the battery. So this is really good thing actually. Now the drawback of hybrid cars or plug-in hybrid cars are the cost wise. It will be costly because the high voltage batteries are really costly, so you need to spend much more money here, so that's why it is costly. Second point, even for the very good brands, they are offering or they are telling you need to change your battery maybe in 8 years. So considering this in a point, while after 8 years you need to change the complete high voltage battery, which is again expensive because high voltage batteries are really expensive actually. But you think you are going to drive your car only 6 years or something, then you can consider this as a point, and then you can, after that maybe while selling you're not getting, it's not that much difference, but yeah, it will be less money, but still you don't need to worry about much thing like buying a new batteries or something like that. So this is something you need to think while buying a car, because this is really important point we need to think about that. Now we go for the next point, which is like fourth point, I think. Yeah, fourth point. Here we will be thinking about the transmission. So whether we need to think about whether you need an automatic transmission or you need a manual transmission. I personally say that if you drive more in cities, then automatic transmission is really good, because more often you will be stopping and taking it. So this is really horrible sometimes we feel. So automatic cars are really good in that case. And even if you are not much experience in driving, automatic cars will be having another advantage, like you don't need to worry about changing the gear, so you can really concentrate on driving alone. So this is really a good thing actually. But there is a drawback also. One drawback is the fuel economy again here. The manual cars will be having more fuel economy compared to the automatic cars. That is one thing. Second thing is, like, some people are really crazy to driving it. For them, they don't feel like using the automatic car, so for them manual cars are really good option. But again, this is a good thing. You need to think about that, which type of transmission you need, whether you need a manual or automatic transmission. This is also one crucial point while taking it. So this is one thing. Now the fifth point is that number of doors. This is also again a very important thing we can think. Here we can see there are 3-door cars and 5-door cars, or more than 5-door cars actually. 3-door cars are, it is also an option, something is there, but personally I do not prefer that one, because the back side of the seat will be like not the front side, the back seat will be like don't have much spaces, and if a person want to go inside the front seat, you need to remove it and need to go inside, so this is much more difficult. So personally I do not prefer 3-door cars. I always prefer 5 doors or above 5 doors cars. So but this also, there's a point you need to consider while buying a car, whether which type of doors you need it. Now the sixth point, or the last point at least I can say, while planning is the car which one you are going to buy, whether you are going to buy a new car or you are going to buy a used car or a Gebrauchtwagen, here they will say. The advantage of new car, anyway, you know that you will get all the latest technologies and all, and of course it will be much more shiny, and you have a much more good look and other things and all, and you have a lot of customization option, because here almost all the cars have customization option. So what features you want, you can add it. What features you don't want, you can remove it. So this is really good. You can customize it like personally for you and your preferences. You can do it. Everything is a really good thing. But and then think about the used cars. The problem is, like, you don't have the customization option, because somebody customized the car and they used it and you are going to use it the car. This is one problem. The problem or advantage of the fresh new car, or the advantage of the used car here, it is the price wise you can see a really good difference. Mainly for the first year, the price difference is really high. So the diminishing price will be like really high for the new car. So the first year there are really huge money will be get it reduced, so you can save. Oh, this is one good thing. So here while planning, you can think about, like, you can go for a used car which is 1 year old. So here they will say Jahreswagen, so just like a 1 year old car, which means that is just 1 year old, but in the price you will be saving really good money. So I can say really good money you will be saving it. Actually we can say even 20,000-30,000 also sometimes you will be saving it, or really 30,000-40,000 you can save it here just for 1 year difference. And here 1 year means which is still you have some more good technologies and all. Car is also new, which will not be 1 year is something like nothing, we can say it's new. And if it's like well maintained and less kilometers used car, which is really good option. You can think about this one while planning a car. And 1 year old, or you can go even for a older car, then this rating reduced. Here I personally suggest something, like going for buying a car, don't think like going for a very old car, because it may be cheaper at that time, but you think again here the yearly money you are spending for maintaining the car. Maybe for yearly you need to change some of the things, so that is also costly. But if you go for not much old car, you don't need to do anything yearly. Maybe you need to go for just general inspection, that's all. So these things also you need to keep in mind while buying a used car. And from where you're buying also really important thing, because maybe everyone is not as expert as like a technician or someone, so we cannot know what problems we have in the car while buying it. So if you are going for an authorized dealer or something, depends upon that, which maybe we can come up later. So this also you can think it. So mainly these are the 5 major points you need to think, like planning, or you need to decide before going for seeing some vehicle, something you need to do it. And another one also I can say, which is again important for some people, maybe not important, whether you want a premium cars or you want like a non-premium cars or like a medium cars, something like that. Mainly premium cars, something like we can say Porsche, Mercedes, BMW, BMW, Jaguar, Volvo, something kind of things and all we can say. Or something like you need it only a Volkswagen or Skoda, Hyundai, some Toyota, something like that cars. Or even you can go again cheaper, something like Kia, some Peugeot, something like that and all. Again, there are different options. So this is something you need to decide while going for buying a car. I like premium cars because the comfort level is good, and it has more safety features, something like that, at least we can say. Or that is one thing I personally prefer, something like that, or I can have at least more trust in that car. One thing that one. Second thing is like resale value. While I'm selling the car back, I can expect like at least some decent value I will get it, not like it will be reducing so much or something that. But again, you have the problem here. If you go for a premium cars compared to there's less premium cars, here the less premium cars will be having more features. This is like a crazy thing, but this is the fact actually. If you go for a premium car, you will get less features, or you need to spend much more money for getting that feature. But if you go for like other cars, something like a Volkswagen or something, you may have more features compared to going for a BMW or something, and the price wise will be like also you have a lot of difference. So this also you need to keep in mind while buying the car. And one more point, maybe I wanted to maybe make it more clarity, because I was telling just before, like if you go for buying a Gebrauchtwagen compared to new car, you can save 20,000-30,000 euros. Maybe people are wondered like, okay, really it is possible or not. I have a personal experience. When I bought my car, I just bought a car which is 1 year old actually, and only 18,000 kilometers ran, and I could able to save 30,000 euros actually. So this is that's why I told it, you can really think about that. This is really different actually. So 30,000 euros is something very big actually. So this you need to keep in mind. And this depreciation will come even if you bought a car and you're selling it tomorrow, like next day also. This is a problem for the first year. The first year you will be losing a lot of money. So this you need to think, always keep in mind. And one more thing I forgot to tell about while buying a car. Here the car is like a smoker's car or a non-smoking car. This is also real difference you can see in the price. The smoker's car's price will be like lesser compared to the non-smoking car. You can say for 2,000 or 3,000 euros lesser price. If you are a smoker's car, then smoked car, then people are using smoking in the car, then 2,000, 3,000 euros again it will be cheaper. Here again it is a personal thing how to think about, like if you are smoking, you can use for smoker's car, otherwise you can go for a non-smoking car. But again, here also I have a personal experience. Maybe I was aware of some technology or some good thing we can use it here. I don't know, maybe people have heard about this ozone cleaning, something is available, which means it is something like an enzymes they are adding it, you're keeping some ozone things inside a car. They will completely cover your car for 1 hour and they will be spending some ozone gases and all. And this, what it is doing is like it will be neutralizing all the odors inside the car. This mostly you will be doing it mainly sometimes if you have a kids and you're going for a long trip or something and you may be vomited or something. The vomiting smell will be there in the car for a long time. This time of sometimes and all, you can use this ozone cleaning, which is also not so costly. I think it will be less than 200 euros only. But you can think about this thing. Saving 2,000 euros and you're spending 200 euros, which will be good. Because my first car, which was a smoker's car, it was not like completely, like he's not a chain smoker luckily, so but still it was some smell. But I did this house on cleaning. I never felt a smoking smell or cigarette smell after that. Or I can say, if you keep it in a very harsh summer time or something, in more time in sunlight, that time the leather will be slightly melt. That time a small odor will come, but it is not like not a smoking, but the leather smell also will come. But other than that, I never felt a major difference. Even my wife also don't like the smoking smell. She always gets some suffocation, but she also did not complain anything. Even I was using a perfume, small perfume also, so the smell is completely different in the car, so we don't get much issue. This also you can consider in car, but still it's a personal one. You can go for a non-smoking car which is like completely clean, at least we can say. This also you need to consider while planning it. Now again, still the planning phases are not over, so I was thinking in mind. Sorry, I was not completely everything, so I am still thinking and coming. Now you need to think about the payment method, how you are going to buy the car. So this is like a which type is over, like now we need to go for like how you can buy it or how you can arrange the finance options. Here again you can do something like you can go for completely paying the money. If you have enough money in your hand, you can do that one, or you can go for a leasing option, then you can go for a finance credit option, like a financing option. There are, I can explain you, but basically mainly people are confused with the finance and the leasing option, which one you need to buy it. Of course, the money you are paying completely, this is again same like whenever you are buying a car, you have money, you are just going and you are booking a car and you are spending complete money, or you are giving complete money and you are getting complete ownership of your car and you are taking it. The leasing cars are, some things are good, whom the people are like really crazy about a new car or new technologies, and you want a very sophisticated like high power cars and all. Then in this case leasing cars are really good because you don't need to arrange enough unsalum or the first deposit money and all, and you will be paying some money and you don't need to worry much things about that. But here the problem is like the leasing cars will be having a kilometer limitations. For example, you will be taking a car like per year will tell 10,000 kilometers or 50,000 kilometers, depends upon which contract you are taking it, depends upon that the money also will change it. But the problem here it is, if you are taking car for 3 years and consider as a 15,000 kilometers, so you are allowed to use 45,000 kilometers per year, but you think that you use the car 60,000 kilometers for 3 years. That time the remaining 15,000 kilometers you need to pay each kilometer a certain euros or certain cents, which they are already mentioned in the contract. This is a drawback, or you need to keep this in mind while driving this cars actually. But there are advantages. I told you will get a brand new car, you can customize it even that cars, and you will, of course, that's a real good. And once after 3 years are over, if you don't made any accidents or you don't made any scratches or something, you don't need to worry about that. You can just drop the car and you can go for another one. This is the advantage of leasing it. Now we go for the finance credit option. This is something tricky, at least from India. I never heard this concept available in India, but here we have a very good thing available in Germany, something called, I can tell you with an explanation. For example, you are buying a car which is 20,000 euros cost, but what will happen is like the car rate will get reduced after every year. So we will be telling for 3 years, we are considering it, 3 years the car rate will be diminishing to 10,000 euros or 8,000 euros, we can say. So what we are going to do here it is, we will be paying the money of the diminishing amount. For example, in this case, for the first 3 years we will be paying only the 8,000 euros. You will be and they will be adding some more interest for that, and then they will be dividing into 36 months and we will be paying that money. So here the advantage is like you can even get a car without having zero money in your hand. Even you are not going for that much high end car or something like that, but some high end cars or something, they may ask for like some ansalum, like initial money. But even if you don't have a initial money, you have a zero money, still you can get a car, and the monthly premium also less, because you are paying only the money for the diminishing value. Then the tricky part here it is, after 3 years you need to pay the remaining money, in this case the 12,000 euros. Then only you will get your car as your car. So that will say Schlussel rate, they will say. This they will be telling in starting itself how much is the Schlussel rate, how much you will be paying for remuneration rate, and how much is interest percentage, and how much you will be paying for the monthly thing. This is really good thing I felt here, because the monthly premium will not be very high, and that after 3 years here you have an advantage, like you can go for another loan for the remaining money, or you can even go for another bank or something and you can get it, or this is also again personal dependent, or if you have money you can pay it and get it. Or after 3 years you want to change the car, still you have an option. You can go for another car, because you can go to same vendor and you can negotiate with that person. Maybe they told 12,000 euros you need to pay, but if you are giving back the car, they will say, oh no, we will give only 11,000. But you can negotiate with them and you can get at least 12,000. You don't need to pay anything and you can go for a new car. So that your car is like old, and you will get again some more like new cars or some different cars. If you want, you can change it. This is really good thing I felt, because I did like that. I had a BMW 1 Series before, and I told I had much more problems with back pain and all. Mainly while we are going autobahn with high speed, we will feel this very much often. And once it started the home office, I felt which is really more pain in the back pain and all, because our chairs or the table I don't have the table which I can raise it. So there are a lot of difficulty at that time. I felt more issues in my back and my neck and all. Actually that time I had option. My 3 years was over or getting over, and I discussed with them and I told, okay, it's not 3 years, like 1 month was pending, but I told I was negotiating with this Volvo guys, and I got a good offers or everything, and then I changed my car actually. So that time it was good option. So I got again almost like 1 year old car, and which have more facilities and SUV and all. So this is really very good thing I felt, and this is something you can keep it in mind. Now going for finance option, you can either go for the finance directly from the dealer. So if you go for a dealer, they will be having some tie-up with some banks, something like Volvo, they have some bank, BMW have their own bank, Mercedes also have a tie-up, or some banks will be there, their own bank. So it is easy to get a loan there, because they will do all the paperwork and all. You don't need to worry about that. You just need to sign for the SHUFA and other things, and you need to submit your salary certificates, salary slips and all. So they will do everything for you, and you can maybe get it in one day or something. You will be wait to know whether your loan is approved or not. In my case from Volvo, I got it approval in 5 minutes actually, because while talking just applied, and while just 5 minutes you got a mail sending everything is approved like that. So this is a good thing. But there are other options. You can directly go to a bank and you can talk to them. I'm going to buy a car, so I need this car, something like that. I have this much money and I'm expecting for a loan offer. And if you're getting a lesser interest rate, you can go for that one. And last year, after I bought my car, only one of my friend, I was not aware at that time, one of my friend told that Commerzbank was giving some offer for first 10,000 euros. You don't need to pay any interest or something like that. So this is some time of Angebote was there at that time, which I was not aware, unlucky, but this is something you can think about buying the car. So you can do some research. You can meantime go now itself. If you're planning, you can go and discuss with the bank people whether if I go for something, I will get it something like this much money or not, what is the interest percentage. You can decide everything. And if you go for a dealer, you can discuss this with them and you can compare and decide according to that. So this also main thing, how to buy a car, in that how you are arranging your financial. One more thing while buying a car, in the planning phase, we need to think about is that from where you are going to buy a car. For example, you are going to buy a car from a private person, or if you are going to buy a car from a dealer, or like a private authorized dealer, or like a private dealers. If you go for a private person, a private dealer, then maybe again it will be little more expensive. But if you go for an official dealer, then it will be much more expensive. That is what I saw, at least personally. And there are some private person also will be much more expensive rate they put it. Yeah, you can try to negotiate with them. This is again you need to think about. I personally like going for a official dealer, because normally while sending, because of the trustworthy, because normally while they are sending while they are selling the car, they will do a proper checkup and they will do all the maintenance work. Like something is need to change it, they already changed it, and then after everything is changed only they will be selling the car. So that's why maybe the price is also high, and maybe everyone is not as expert as like a technician. So here it is good thing, like okay, we can trust at least the brand and they will be doing the changes. So that is one very good thing I felt actually. But think that okay, you found a car which is not in the dealer, but which is a private person or with some private dealers, something is there, but you are not that much experienced and we don't know anything about or we don't know much things about the car inside or something, how it is, how the things are there. In this case, we have an advantage, or we have an option, something called good actor. We can get it a good actor, so they are like experienced people in the car, or experienced technician we can say. Of course we need to pay them with a fixed pay, they will tell, and then they will come with us and they will check the car, they will drive and they will do all the check and all. Then they will tell that okay, yeah, this car is really good and there is no problem at all, so you can go for this car, or you have this problems, and then they will tell okay, you have this problem, so you need to spend money for that, so you can, according to that, you can get it bargained actually. So this is also really good thing. So this option also we can think about and we can decide it. This is something also while think, okay, while doing the planning we can think. So now I think it's enough for planning, because we are planning for a long time. I think that is enough for planning. Now we will think about how to go for execution phase, like execution phase, how to buy a car in execution phase. Here there are a lot of websites available. Mainly I look into like something like mobile.de or autoscout.de or in auto.de. There are a lot of websites are available. Basically I check it in mobile.de and autoscout.de. Because of the language option, there we have a English language option available. So this is something there which I like it. And one of these options. Second options, other options are like from the dealer itself will be having their own website and they will be putting advertisement there. That is also another options. Or you can check it something in Facebook or some social medias also. Some people would be putting in an ad actually. And suppose we consider as an example from this mobile or autoscout.de, their advantage is like you have a lot of filters available. Basically like you can filter with a mark, which car you want it, which seat you want it, like how many seats you want it, and how many doors you want it, whether you want a petrol car, automatic car, or you want some extra features, something like a navi or radar or something like that. All these things you can add it as a filter option and you can find a car which is having all these features or something main features what you want it. So this is something I like it. And then I found some car, then the next step is like booking an appointment with them. Here one main thing you need to think while booking a car for the appointment. If you go for a dealer, you need to specifically tell them that you need to get a test drive also the same day. Otherwise what will happen is like they will be giving an appointment, then you can go and see the car, but you cannot take a test drive. For the test drive they will be giving another appointment and you need to go again and go a test drive. So here you need to tell that you need to book an appointment with a test drive, and if you like the car, then you will be decide, or we will be discussed according to that, so that they can book the appointment enough time for that. Why we are going to do this one is like for a dealer, they will be, for test drive they will be giving a special number plate for us, and this number plate will be limited for them. So if already some people are booked, then you cannot drive on the same day. But if you already mentioned that you need a test drive, then they will block the number plate for you and you can do a test drive. Now think that you went there and you go for a test drive. They will normally give for 1 hour test drive. They will give I think 100 kilometers something limitation. I don't think there is a kilometer limitation, but they will give for a 1 hour. You can drive 1 hour, you can check all the features, all the things are available or not, if you like the car or not. If you like it, then we'll go for the next step, like the negotiation phase or the speaking or the contract phase. Here most of the people are thinking like whether we can do a negotiation or not. I will say it's possible. Even if you are getting something or you are saving some money, this is good for us. So nothing wrong or nothing bad in asking for something. This is something we can always ask. Here I will personally tell some of the things you can try for negotiating. First one is that the tires. So normally, as you know, here in Germany, in winter time we need to change the tire to winter tires, and in summer time there is no rule to change back to summer tires, but for the fuel efficiency you need to change back the summer tires. So normally while giving the car will be having only summer tires. So we need to ask for a winter tires, then they can give you extra set of winter tires so that you can use it for the winter time. And while getting it, you need to ask them, you need to get at least minimum some thread. For example, winter tires have I think minimum 4 millimeter thread is minimum needed, so you need to tell them at least minimum 5mm thread tire you need to get it, because then only you can use it for 2 or 3 seasons or something, like depends upon how much you're driving it. Then not only tires, you need to speak about the felgen also, the rim also. So normally they will be giving a stall, they will say something, so that you have a normal rim they will be give it, but you can ask for a alu felgen for the alloy wheels. I will not say it is not impossible, it is also possible. If there is some free or some available alu felgen, so they can offer you. This is also something you can try for negotiating it. Then next option is that for an extra warranty, always try to, so normally they will give 1 year or something, or 2 or 3 years, depends upon how old is your vehicle. If it is a Yaris wagon, maybe they will give 2 or 3 years warranty extra, but if it is like a somewhat 3-4 years old car, then they will be giving only 1 year warranty. But starting you can look for a extra warranty like 2 or 3 years. So this is something, if they're giving for free, this is good, or if they're giving with some offer rate, then it's also good to add some extra warranty. This is also again good. Another thing, you can ask for the application, mobile application. Almost all the major brands, they have a mobile application now available, but this is a license application. For example, in my case, I have a Volvo on-call application, which is a license application for 3 years. Even if they are not giving us free, we need to pay for that 3-year subscription. So this is also something you can ask for them. Advantage of this app is really good thing. Something is like I can see where is my car, where is the what is the temperature of my car at that time in the place. I can turn on how much, I can check how much fuel is remaining. I can even turn on the climate control, like I can make it as cold or heat, depends upon the time it will automatically start, or we can start it from the remote itself. I can lock my car, I can unlock my car from with the remote. Suppose like I'm getting a delivery, I don't want to be in the place, my car is in home, I'm in office, I can just tell okay, keep it, I can unlock the car from my mobile, at least the boot I can unlock it, and I can tell them okay, keep the delivery in the boot, and then I can lock it actually with the car itself. So this is really good thing. We can do it, and other than this, lot of things are there. We can see where the car is parked and all. And main thing I felt very good thing is like the map feature. So for example, if you have a map, you wanted to go somewhere, you can check the map in mobile and you can send this map to the car. Once you are entering the car, you just need to give a OK button, so that the map will be loaded immediately. You don't need to type everything and all, so you can save some time, and you don't need to much trouble like typing in the screen and all. So this is really good thing. So this is also something you need to ask, otherwise they may not give and you need to pay for the subscription charges again. Then another one is the towing feature. So if the car, they will be having some towing feature, at least for some years they will be having it, but the car is old, maybe they will not be give it. But this also you can bargain and get it as a feature. Otherwise you may need to get a membership from the automotive club, something like ADAC or something, or you may need to get it from the insurance with a Schutzbrief or something. But if they are getting it as a free, this is something good, so we can ask for something, it is not bad. Another one, something is like silly, maybe feels silly, you need to ask for a keychain or something, because if you have a Volvo and you are getting a Volvo keychain, is good. For if you have a BMW, you are getting a BMW keychain, maybe it looks good. Why I am telling is like if you are not asking, they may not give. Otherwise the person, like the sales guy is really good, then they may offer. Otherwise they may not give, because even it is not free for them. It is something like 15 euro or something, I think, for the keychain, or 20 euro. So they will try to save that money, but if you ask, they may give to you. So this is something you need to ask them. And the final or main thing I will say to ask one more thing is the registration. So here the registration process is, you need to spend some time and you need to spend some money for that. You maybe one day you will be spending for that. Instead of that, you can ask them to get it done, the registration also. So normally they may ask for you to pay some 200 euro, but you can try to negotiate with them and they will give it for free. So in my case, they did it for the registration. So the higher the advantage, like cost wise and the time wise and the effort wise. So this is really good, because they will do everything for you and you can just come and collect the car. And main thing you need to keep in mind that, or do that while discussing everything, after discussing, while creating the contract, add all the points in the contract, because after that, while taking the car, you need to check everything. If nothing is there in the contract, they may say, okay, I am not remembering something I offered, so that I am not telling, they will tell something, but it may possible like that. Here, according to rule, everything should be in the contract, otherwise you are not allowed to speak about that, or you are not to ask for that one. So better or not better, always add everything in the contract while you are signing that one, so that it is marked that okay, these things they will do it. And sorry, some things I forgot to tell. Ask for the new service. Always ask them to get it serviced also before getting the car. New service, so that we can at least ensure that okay, they did all the servicing and they changed everything which is needed, something like oil, filters and everything. And the one more is the TÜV. As you may know, here the vehicle test we need to do the first year of the car, like once you're buying, first 3 years you don't need to, after that every 2 years you need to do it. So you need to ask them to do a new TÜV, so that you need to worry about next 2 years. This is one main thing. Another advantage is that this is something like another inspection, so they will do a proper inspection, something like some dangerous problems are available or not, or some safety critical issues are there or not. This is something good for us, because it is something like an extra check we are making it for that. So this is also good thing, and you don't need to go for that TÜV also. So this is also you need to ask for, or you need to get it bargained and get it right to get it actually. Once everything is there, you need to sign the contract, and then they will tell when you can collect the car. Mostly you will not be able to collect the car in 1 week or 2 weeks. Maybe sometimes they will say minimum 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and all depends upon what much work they wanted to do it, and depends upon the registration time also. Sometimes if they are getting it as free, they will say okay, because last time because of corona the registration time was minimum 20 days or something, so I wanted to wait that much time. It depends upon like that. But if your advantage here it is, in this case, if you already have a car and you are going to give them the car, at that time I told us starting itself bargaining the price there, but until you are getting the new car, you can use your own car. This is really good. Okay, of course they will check while giving the car, some accidents or something happen, but yeah, of course nothing will happen like that. I will wait. So this is also really good thing. Until that you can use your own car, and you can while you need to tell them while getting the car, because they will accept this one. So this also you need to use in the contract. Once everything is ready and your day arrived for getting to the car, you can just walk in with the contract and check everything is there. Then your car is yours. It's ready and your dream is achieved. So congratulations, you achieved the car, you got the car. This is something you can take the car and you can drive away. So now some people ask for this, some of my friends or some people ask for like a personal experience, like how you will prefer, or how Arun asked me how you will prefer, like how I will prefer for buying a car. This is only my personal preferences, nothing. This is only my personal preference. I always prefer to buy the wagon. It's a Yaris wagon. It's like a 1-year-old car. Because of the price difference, as I told, I was able to save 32,000 euros, which is really huge money for me. So this is good thing. Then second option, how you will arrange the money. I will go for finance option, because first of all, I don't have enough money for buying the car. That is one good thing. Not good, not it's a bad thing, I will say. But yeah, I don't want to go for leasing, because I wanted to use as like my own car. And I have finance option, I have all other freedoms and all, so I will go for a finance credit, and the monthly premium also less here. Then third option is like the transmission or vehicle type. I prefer SUV, as I told. I had an experience basically before, I had a bad experience, so I prefer this time only SUVs, and here I preferred at that time 7-seater, because yeah, I felt okay, if one of my friends, some of my friends are coming, we are going for a trip or something, we can go together, and if we're going for a long trip, my friend can also drive, so which is really good thing, and which is like fun also, going for like a much more people. This is something again my personal preference, and this time I bought like a 7-seater one. This is something preferred one. Then the gearbox. My first car I was using with the manual gear, and I was living in Frankfurt, and my office also I wanted to cross always the city. So while going and coming back, the traffic is really hectic, and I was like fed up with the manual gears, because I wanted to constantly stop and taking it, and also this time I preferred to go for automatic cars because of this main reason. And then if you go for a long trip and all, long trips, maybe in autobahns you don't feel much in the van, but in cities mainly I feel automatic cars are really good. Then the kilometers. I prefer a car which is less than 30,000 kilometers or something. So which means it is not much driven and everything is almost as new, good as new. So this is something I prefer. Then the fuel wise, I like to buy a PHEV plug-in hybrid vehicle. Unfortunately, that was not in my budget, so I went to a petrol cars. This is something I should have. That's a fact actually. Then the point is like a smokers or non-smoking vehicle. This I told before. I had a personal experience, but this time luckily I got a non-smoking car only, and this time okay, more considered also. I was also searching at that time non-smoking car. Yeah, I luckily got it also, a non-smoking car. Then then some people are like asked for the doors, number of doors actually in between. Lakshmi cut dekana. So now again the doors, as I bought a SUV, I had only 5 doors, or I never see a 3-door SUV, or maybe it is there, I don't know. But yeah, I prefer only 5 doors or more than 5 doors. So this is also again a personal preference actually. Then the interior and all, some people are asking like, are you going for a leather interior or like with the cloth also, it's okay, something. This is again a personal preference, depends upon your budget and everything, you can decide it. And then now this time while I'm buying, at least I was scared about to have a cruise control key feature, and I was also checking for an adaptive cruise control with a radar feature. So this is something good, and I have an automatic car. This will completely stop into 0 speed and it will be able to drive. This is something again personal preferences. And this time I was looking for a LED headlight, because the light difference, I can really say my old BMW compared to Volvo, it was completely like, it's like a tan light, say it's too much like a difference actually, I can feel. So LED lights are really good, mainly in winter time, it's really helpful actually. So this was my personal preferences at that time, and yeah, luckily I was able to achieve a car, able to buy a car. My dream also achieved. This is good thing, and yeah, this is about all. I felt I provided all the required information, everything like until the planning and everything to the execution phase. I felt it will be helpful for at least for some people, or if you are planning to buy a car, it is really helpful, I felt, and I'm glad that I could able to help in some way. And if you like the video, and one more thing I wanted to say, I'm really sorry the length of the video is really high, because I wanted to tell everything in detail. I know, okay, most people will be knowing this one, but there are some people will not be knowing all the information also, so it will be helpful for them also. So I need to consider in a global view, I should explain in a proper way, so that's why it took really long video, and I'm really sorry for that. And if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe, and please share with others, that it will be helpful for others also. And if you have any doubts, you can comment. I'm glad to help you. If I know something or if I don't know, I'll try to get the information and try to post as much as possible. And yeah, of course, it is also again encouraging us. So thank you very much for watching the video, and see you in next video. Bye bye. See you.